Saba Stories. The meeting of Cinderella and the prince. In the previous parts of the story of Cinderella, we saw that Cinderella was very rude and arrogant, and she was harassing her stepmother and stepsisters, and she was scheduled to participate in the palace party. But Cinderella ran away from the party at the last moment and left one of her crystal shoes on the steps of the palace. Cinderella entered the forest and had a very strange dream. When she woke up, she decided to change her behavior and treat others with respect and kindness. On the other hand, the prince, who did not want to marry any girl, took a spell from the magician, and after the celebration started, he turned all the people of the city into statues and left the palace. After the prince left, the evil witch entered the palace and took power with the magic of her necklace and brought all the people of the city under her control and command. Only the prince and Cinderella, who were not present at this party, were not enchanted and both went to the forest, and now the story continues. The prince, who had a crystal shoelace in his hand, was walking alone in the forest and still could not believe how easily he had been fooled by the witch. He had caused all the people of the town to be enchanted and the power to fall into the hands of the wizard. He was very confused and did not know what to do. As he was walking aimlessly, he suddenly saw Cinderella and a fairy sitting in a corner. He went to them and said,
"It's good that I found you. These are your shoes. You left it on the stairs."
Cinderella and the fairy were surprised when they saw the prince. He was the prince that Cinderella saw in her dream and fell in love with. The prince approached and brought the crystal shoe to him. Then he bent down and put the shoe on Cinderella's feet. Once a strange thing happened. The prince's gaze locked on Cinderella's gaze. The prince had a strange feeling. A feeling he had never felt towards any other girl. It was as if he had known this girl for a long time. He took Cinderella's hands to stand up. The prince said,
"I seem to know you, but I do not remember correctly. It's like I've seen you before in my dreams. Can you tell me your name?"
Cinderella said,
"I am Cinderella. I also saw you in my dreams."
The fairy was very happy that the prince and Cinderella met each other. Perry said,
"That's right. You have met in each other's dreams before. Unfortunately, all the troubles happened because you were prevented from meeting. But finally it happened and you got together. Now we have to do something to invalidate the evil witch's spell and save the people of the city."
The prince said,
"Unfortunately, I was deceived by the magician and made a mistake. I gave all the power and kingdom to the magician with my own hand."
The witch gets her power from that magic necklace she wears around.
"Her neck," said the fairy.
"If we get that necklace, we can break the spell and everything will be back to normal."
The prince asked,
"How come the witch and the witch's spell did not affect the two of us?"
Perry said,
"A much stronger force surrounds you too. The power of love and affection. No spell has any effect on it."
The fairy told them,
"You can enter the witch's room by changing her appearance and take out the necklace when she is asleep. You just have to be careful that you never get separated."
They also accepted. The fairy turned the prince and Cinderella into mice. They both entered the wizard's room with each other's help. When the witch was asleep, they went to her necklace. They took the necklace and immediately changed their appearance again and returned to their original state. They both held the necklace together and suddenly the necklace and the witch went up in smoke and disappeared. In disbelief, time went back and everything returned to the same party night. The prince and Cinderella went to the banquet hall and saw that the king and all the people were celebrating. They were overjoyed that they had succeeded in undoing the witch's spell and returning everything to normal. In that very beautiful night, the prince and Cinderella were together all the time and did not take their eyes off each other. Suddenly, the midnight bell rang. Once Cinderella started running and tried to get out of the palace. The prince ran after him. Suddenly, Cinderella's shoe came off and stuck on the stairs. The prince ran after Cinderella and said,
Cinderella, where are you going? Please don't leave me again.
Cinderella said as she ran,
Midnight is coming and my spell will be cancelled, and I don't want you to see me in my original form.
The prince ran after her and said,
But Cinderella, I love you the way you are.
Wait. At the bottom of the stairs, a kind fairy was standing and laughing.